Well, looks like Halloween's coming soon. You know what that means, don't you? Poop bags. If you know anything about poop bags, you know that they're supposed to be flaming. And honestly, that's not something that I ever remember doing as a kid. Certainly there was some deep peeing. There was certainly some other shenanigans, but I never went as far as collecting feces for flaming bags. I mean, I can only imagine being an adult these days and having a flaming bag placed onto the threshold of my house and then trying to stomp it out. Ooh, looks like I damaged this transmission with too long of a screw at some point in time. Ooh, yeah, sure did. Sure did. Whoopsie. Oh, but I digress. It's time for shenanigans with trick-or-treaters here soon. But I've noticed that, well, there seems to be a lot older kids going out into the neighborhoods here lately. And is there a certain age that is too old to trick-or-treat? Or are we saying, 13-year-old and they'll start kicking your butt if you come up here looking for candy? Or is it more like, well, anything to keep them out of trouble? I don't care if they're 18. Honestly, some of the best costumes that I have seen over the years have been what appeared to be college students coming up to the house looking for candy. Do they need the candy? No, they probably don't care at all about the candy, but they are still looking to have some good, clean fun. As long as there's no poop bags involved, it's going to be clean enough, I suppose. And if that keeps them out of trouble, then for myself, yeah, that's fine by me, honestly. I say go for it. But maybe there's a point that you feel like, yeah, you shouldn't be coming around here. I mean, maybe somewhere in the 30s it starts to get a little creepy. Like, yeah, old enough to vote. Get off my boat. I don't know. I don't have any hard and fast rules on this. What I do know, though, is that I'm trying to get a pinion on this motor, and it's not the easiest to take this apart. At any rate, I remember very fondly going around neighborhoods as a kid and trick-or-treating, and we'd be trucked into the neighborhoods, and I gotta say that there really hasn't been a lot of good trick-or-treating in prior years. Like it just, I don't know, it seems like it's waning. Something is going on to where the popularity has been lost. However, this last year I went to a different neighborhood, and what it really appears is that the trick-or-treaters just moved from one neighborhood to another. Now, I'm not fully sure how to see my opinion depth on this. So maybe that's really just what happened, is that the trick-or-treaters went to a different location, and I just wasn't privy to where that location was. All right, we're going to do ourselves a little side view here. Boom. A little bit of boom. It's not hitting anything. I think we're good.
Get the full-size candy bars?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to those really nice neighborhoods, then they're usually giving out some pretty good stuffs. And last year at my house, I did the honor system. I threw out a bowl of candy, and I didn't even put a sign that said take one, but I watched. And what ended up happening is that you had some kids that would just, they'd take one or two, and then some kids that just come up and try to clean out the whole bowl. And whether or not their friends stopped them was about the only thing that kept the bowl from being completely emptied out. It was, need to have that sign, need to be sticking around, making sure they're sticking to the rules, I guess. But at the same time, do I really care? No, I really don't care. I suppose it's a bummer if the next kids come along that are real kids. And of course, they don't want to be disappointed and be wasting their time. So You know, we used to live in a high trust society where you could do things like that and not worry about one kid just cleaning out your whole bowl. Or maybe you did. I don't know. If you're a little older, maybe in your 60s, when you were younger or when you first started putting out treats for kids, was that something that you could do? Could you just trust them and then have them perform in a trustworthy manner? Could you? Or is this just something where it's the good old days in my head and it's always been where there's that one guy that runs it for everybody? Let's say guy. I guess I could be a gal, but generally, it's going to be some punk kid that's probably about 12 years old. I know who it is. I know who you are. I know your name and where you live.
Tell your parents.
That's right. I'm going to tell your parents. I'm going to show them that camera that you didn't know was there last year. So along the lines of course, trick-or-treating, there is costumes. And the costumes that we choose these days, you go down to Spirit Halloween. How many different places has Spirit Halloween been in your neck of the woods? It is at a new location this year for us. One that it has never been in because it's, a newly failed business. The Spirit Halloween just jumped into that store. It's always fun trying to guess where it's going to be next year. It's like one of the ships in Mario Brothers 3. You never know where it's going to land. I've been playing a lot of Mario Brothers 3 lately. Totally off topic of the subject at hand. But this subject is totally off topic anyway, so I think we're good, aren't we? All right. Okay. We got a little bit of lash in our gear. I think we're good.
What about poison candy? We don't sort through and no razor blades.
Oh man, poison candy. Yeah, razor blades in your
Apple.
your apple. Did you ever actually see it? Once? Did it happen once? Oh, and drugs. We'll be giving away drugs. Ain't nobody spending money on giving away free drugs. Not once in my life. Not once have I ever heard, oh, did you hear about the drugs that they were giving away at the old O'Reilly house? Yeah, boy, a bunch of kids just got silly. They
Sugar high.
Yeah, not once. Nobody is spending money giving drugs out to the neighborhood kids. All right. So, all right, little sine wave gear noise here if we're unloaded. Put a little load on it, much better. Oh yeah, we're ready to go. Probably should have Loctited that pinion, but whatever. We'll find out later. Making your own costumes, though, I've always found to be rewarding and I would say worth it. But these days there are a lot of them out there and available, so I get it if you don't want to. But this year I am gonna be Gomez Adams, and that is it's not a unique outfit by any means, but it's one where I can just get a nice suit, pinstriped, of course, because it's Gomez, and then I can have that suit for the rest of my life. So I kind of like that idea of being Gomez. And I guess it's not really making a costume at that point, but it is something that is usable in the foreseeable future. Right, I need to get a shorter screw for this guy. It was hitting our transmission, unfortunately. But otherwise, making costumes for the kids, that's always been fun, but boy, can it be a lot of work. It can be a whole bunch of work. All right, none of these are looking good. I might be able to steal one from somewhere else. I'll have mismatched screws, but it's gonna be fine.
What do you think are the trending costumes this year?
Trending costumes of the year. That's only going to be trending if you're looking for trouble. Looking for. All right. I forget which way I had this installed. I think it was this way. Let me halfway focus on this. There we go. Okay. All right, yes, trending costumes. Honestly, I think there is going to be a lot of Addams Family. Because it wasn't that there was the whole like Jenna Ortega Addams Family remake or something like that. Pretty sure. So there'll be a lot of Wednesdays. There is. Let's see. Is this long? Oh, it's longer, not shorter. That screw's not going to help me out at all. We had a remake of. Oh, what was that movie with Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice. That's what. We're probably going to see a lot of Beetlejuice costumes this year. I don't know. What about y'all? What do you think? What's going to be the costumes? What are your kids asking for? My son wants to be Walter White again because we have a hazmat suit and he thinks it's funny. And then my daughter, she always has a lot of ideas and they bounce around. I'm not sure what she's wanting to be at this point. It's like probably wants to be a kitten princess combined with something else. She's always got a lot of unique ideas. So we have done nothing in that regards yet. We'll see what happens this year. I'm looking forward to it. I actually did some decorating. Maybe you grew up with your parents liking to decorate and having, like a bin or whatever. I've just got a bin. I've been throwing them in. I've got a little a little girl on a swing that cackles and is sort of upsetting. Honestly, it's not something that I want to hear, but the kids think it's funny, I suppose. But I'm going to automate it. I got a windshield wiper motor. They just run continuously, and the way that we won't worry about the operation of windshield wiper motor, but they're really good for automation of sort of heavy objects. And this isn't a heavy object, but I could put a fairly large arm on it, and the reciprocating motion of that arm on like a little stick or something will make this thing go back and forth. And then my plan is I'm going to put a motion sensor on that. So the motion sensor is going to turn on the windshield wiper motor or the power supply for the windshield wiper motor because it's 12 volts. And then it'll start swinging the girl, and then that'll kick off her motion sensor, and she starts cackling and screaming and everything. It'll be a good little automation for in front of the house. At least I'm looking forward to it. I think that'll be quite fun.
What about like haunted houses and stuff?
Yes, haunted houses. So one of my buddies has always done a really good haunted house every year. Like really, really, he just throws it down. And unfortunately, this year we will not have the luxury of his haunted house because he's looking to fix up his basement, and it's no longer going to be spending so much effort. They're wanting to sell their house, and making your house a party house for a haunted house, both upstairs and downstairs, is not really compatible with getting a house into sale ready shape, of course. So it's unfortunate that we're not going to be doing that this year, but I don't like going to normal haunted houses for some reason. They're just not entertaining for me. And maybe they are for you. It's something to do, of course, something to do with the family. But I have never really found them to be scary. I've never really found them to be entertaining, for that matter. So that's maybe I'm an oddball in this. You let me know what your take is on haunted houses, because they're really cool in a lot of ways. The amount of effort that they put into the automation and the various things. Of course, then you get haunted houses that just kind of like they coast for a long time. So we had one here. Well, we had two, I suppose, and the one that was in town was bought out by the out-of-towners, and they just shut down the in-town one. Like, they didn't keep it running, which, in my opinion, was a business mistake, because it's different clientele that want to drive, way out into the county versus the people that want to stay here in town. And they could have been competing with each other, but you have the same owner, right? So you're kind of like getting a slice of both of the pies at that point. But they shut it down, and then they took all the decorations from the one they shut down, and they didn't really integrate them very well. They just ended up rotting out at the county one, unfortunately. It's kind of unfortunate to see, because one of my buddies used to run the in-town one as far as a lot of the automations. And without him there and without the people that originally built it, nobody cared, and so the stuff just rotted. It was kind of a bummer, but you know, not my business, so whatever, I suppose. But maybe the reason why it's not as entertaining for myself is because I saw the back end of it. I see how everything was constructed and made, and so I knew, like, hey, coming up here, there's going to be a drop floor, and well, you know, it's going to scare you. Or coming up here, there's a sensor, and that sensor is going to trigger something else. So, yeah, well, I've just never really been into the haunted houses. All right, but what I am into is finding the drive shafts that I just had. I mean, didn't I start the video out asking about how people keep organized? What did I do? I didn't even move very far. There wasn't very far that I could have moved at all. It's not... I didn't throw it in here, did I? I don't think I did. No, I'm pretty sure I did not. Well, I guess that's it for today until I find my drive shaft. And besides that, I'd need to cut these drive shafts on a bandsaw. So I'm gonna probably do that off camera, and we'll get back to this build one way or another. But in the meantime, yeah, Halloween is coming, and I hope you're gonna do something fun for it, or maybe you don't even like it. Let me know on that. But it seems like in the US, a lot of people do enjoy Halloween and the sort of debauchery that goes with that. So yeah, let me know what you're gonna be for Halloween. Maybe you've got some pretty cool ideas. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.